Now at 10, Waterfest takes place at Wildcat Glades. We'll see how attendees put their boat making skills to the test. Plus, lovers of games, anime, and all things nerdy converge at Joplin High School where JomoCon is taking place. And
the Humboldt Police Department is making sure kids are safe on the street with a hands-on bicycle safety training. I'm Samantha Walker, and I'll have that story coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The start of school isn't far off, and kids across the 4 states are getting ready to take their seats. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Anthony Saviello. With the new school year comes new bicyclists, with many students taking the trip to and from school on 2 wheels. KOAM Samantha Walker has more on how a police department is hoping to help kids stay safe as they take to the streets.
You don't have to stay at home. You can go places. You have freedom.
Riding a bike is an exciting experience for many kids, allowing them to gain a little bit of independence.
Just going around town, going to all the stores, just hanging out with friends.
But riding a bike can be risky for kids. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, in 2021, 38 kids under the age of 15 were killed while riding a bike, and more than 5,000 were injured. That's why Humboldt School Resource Officer Tyrone Wooden became concerned when he saw kids in his community being unsafe on the road.
I had probably 4 the other day that I just patrolling around, seeing them in town, and I had to pull over and stop and say, hey, you need to start riding your bike right. You're going to come to this bike safety that we're putting on tomorrow morning. And the parents is all for it.
Sergeant Wooden and the Humboldt Police Department organized a free bicycle safety course for kids of all ages to attend. The course teaches attendees how to be cautious on the roads and how to interact with traffic. Completion of the course earns a certificate and a free helmet.
You have the little kids that are already riding bikes without training wheels, and you never know, they could wreck, and they couldn't wreck. If they're really good at it, they couldn't wreck.
And it's not just bikers who need to be safe on the road.
It's everybody's. Everybody has a role in this. If the kids know how to ride their bike, and the drivers know what age they are riding bikes and how to get over, how to slow down. Everybody has a role in this. Everybody has a role in safety. Everybody's a safety officer, so that's how we look at it.
Participants at the training say it's a great feeling knowing that kids like them are going to be safer on the street.
It makes me feel good now that more kids will be paying way more better attention after this, probably.
Just a big weight off my shoulder knowing that they got the right tools now to ride around town, ride to the gas station if they need to, ride to a friend's house, and knowing that they're doing everything safe to not get hit.
Reporting in Humboldt, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
The Humboldt Police Department says they hope to hold another bicycle safety class next month as part of the town's 3rd Saturday activities. Joplin first responders battle a structure fire yesterday evening. Reports of smoke and flames from a building on North Connor came in just after 6:30. On arrival, crews witnessed flames coming through the roof. Crews had the fire under control in about 45 minutes. The Joplin Fire Marshal is investigating the cause. We'll check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney for a first look at weather.
Well, it's pretty cool out there tonight. Temperatures getting down to mid-60s. We've got overcast conditions. Rain hasn't quite made it into the area yet. Not until a little bit later, closer to midnight, are we going to get some rain. We've got a nice easterly breeze, about 5-10 miles per hour, and high humidity, but that's just due to the rain that's moving in. We've got a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. 74 in Joplin, 71 in Pittsburgh, a little bit cooler up in Iola and Fort Scott, 76 in Anderson and Nowata, Veneta, all both 77. So we're now all in the upper 70s, going to start dropping down to lower 70s and even into the 60s. So we're getting down to mid to lower 60s for our low tonight. We've got more showers and thunderstorms. You can already start to see a few popping up in the southern counties. We've got more moving in the overnight hours, and we'll talk more about that in just a bit.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. Well, people at Shoal Creek were celebrating today at Wildcat Glades, held their annual water festival. The event hosted shoebox, rubber duck, and cardboard boat races. The event is also to raise awareness of the importance of water in the environment.
I really like watching the cardboard boat race. I think that's pretty fascinating. People they build their own boat and then they race it down Shoal Creek. It's also fun to see the kids build their shoeboat boxes, and they come out in the spring and they also race those.
Area organizations like the Reddings Mill Fire Department were at the event to spread education about nature and water rescue. Pop culture and lovers of all things nerd culture unite today at Joplin High School. The event, called JomoCon, included around 50 vendors, a live-action role-play arena, a cosplay contest, and more. Panels for a variety of things from Japanese traditional music to the history of giant robots were also available.
Anime! Woo! We're here to celebrate some anime at the con.
I grew up in Frontenac, and seeing this so close to my hometown really made me want to come back. I would have loved to do something like this when I was a kid. I got a late start in this hobby because there wasn't anything around me, so I'm so glad that Joplin is starting something like this for creative kids like I used to be.
Proceeds from this year's convention will be donated to the Children's Haven of Southwest Missouri. Dozens of demonstrators gathered outside the White House today to encourage President Biden to abandon his re-election campaign. The event was referred to as a Pass the Torch rally. The protesters said now more than ever, Democrats need the strongest possible candidate to defeat former President Trump in November. They carried signs that read, "Country before ego," and "We love you, but it's time." Mr. Trump has been polling ahead of Mr. Biden in crucial states since the attempt on the former chief executive's life during a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania last Saturday. David Letterman will be lending some star power to President Biden's re-election campaign. The comedian is scheduled to headline a fundraiser with Mr. Biden on July 29th on Martha's Vineyard. The campaign event is considered an indication the chief executive is forging ahead with his effort to win another term in the White House. Even George Clooney, a longtime Democratic supporter and famous actor, says the president should end his re-election effort. Nonetheless, the campaign has at least 10 other fundraising events scheduled to be held over the final 10 days of July. Coming up, how a global tech outage that occurred is still affecting millions. Plus, how video games can actually be used as a learning tool. Much of the world dealing with a global tech outage this past week. You likely couldn't move money or pay bills. It was not a cyber attack, but rather something went wrong with a software update from cybersecurity company CrowdStrike. One of the biggest IT outages ever knocked many bank and hospital systems offline. Airline passengers had the biggest headaches with flights grounded worldwide. Joe Hickman found frustrated passengers at Springfield's airport who spent hours waiting to see if they'd be able to board their flight.
I know it's not their fault, but it's still frustrating.
This is pretty serious.
Reactions to how hard it was to reach the friendly skies above the Springfield-Branson National Airport today. The TSA was carrying on as usual, but the airlines themselves suffered disruptions in their network, so
they couldn't get on their computers to be able to help people.
And that led to this. Long lines everywhere you looked. And this youngster's face kind of said it all. Anxious, tired, bored, fidgety. Hundreds of people waiting in line because
they're hoping to get rebooked or possibly find out when their delayed aircraft may go. We typically will have in excess of 10 flight departures before 8 o'clock, but we didn't even have our first departure till 9 o'clock.
Got here at 4:30 this morning. They canceled our flight all the way through to Las Vegas.
Kimberling City resident Ed Huff had spent 8 hours at the airport by the time we visited with him, but he did finally get a flight out. As a frequent flyer, he said it's not his worst experience, but it is
probably the longest.
We drove an hour and a half to the airport to wait an hour just to find out that they just now canceled.
Dan Wilson drove all the way from Camdenton to find out that his flight to Las Vegas was canceled. He had not found another flight yet, so
maybe we might have to drive.
On my way to the airport this morning, I tried to pull up my boarding pass, nothing. Everything was down.
Robin Daniels had spent 5 hours trying to get her flight to Orlando. but said people in the long line bonded over their shared misery, and she even got a chance to meet another Robin, Robin Brock from Pittsburgh, Kansas.
We've had lunch together and we've made the best of a long situation.
It was also ironic that all the electronic devices people were using to fix their airline problems are part of the same information technology world that put them in this mess in the first place.
Is this a chance to reevaluate our dependence on that? I think it probably should be.
I miss the days of paper and pen.
A new program called Playmakers is showing that video games can be a powerful educational tool. The initiative aims to help children learn more about new technology, creative arts, and even financial literacy. Program founders say they want to meet children where they are doing something they love. The project debuted at Vista Academy Public School in Brooklyn in late 2023. Parents and educators say it makes kids want to get up and go to school. The program is set to expand soon with the Denzel Washington School for the Arts. Thousands of hot dogs are being recalled, in important news for Social Security recipients. Christine Lazar has more in this Eye on Consumer report.
Millions of people with online Social Security accounts will need to make a switch. Certain users of SSA.gov must soon change to a login.gov account in order to access their information. Account holders should have received an email prompting the change. The agency says no formal deadline has been set yet for the switch. Nearly 7,000 pounds of hot dogs have been recalled because they were not inspected by federal regulators. The hot dogs were processed at Kentucky-based AW Farms and shipped to restaurants in Ohio and West Virginia. The company says consumers should throw the recalled products away or return them to the place of purchase. And another iconic Las Vegas resort has closed its doors for good. On Wednesday, the Mirage's landmark volcano erupted for the very last time. The hotel casino opened its doors back in 1989 and was once home to Siegfried and Roy's Tiger Show. The property is being turned into a Hard Rock hotel and casino, which is set to open in 2027. And those are some of the week's top consumer stories. I'm Christine Lazar, CBS News, Los Angeles.
A little later, celebrating cookies that hopefully bring you good fortune.
And we also have storms rolling in this evening. We'll talk more about that in just a bit. Well, it's going to be a pretty cool night again, and tomorrow's even cooler. But right now we'll go ahead and take a look outside. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Pretty busy out there. It's also really cloudy. We also have a nice easterly breeze and some rain moving in later on this evening. Temperatures only got up to about 82 today. Our low was about 63, so we're still 10 degrees more or less below average for this time of year. And I know we've all been loving it. We also have some rain in the forecast, which also is pretty necessary, especially because it's not a severe threat. It's just going to be rain, your normal summer thunderstorms. We've had a few showers up in those northern counties, didn't produce a lot of rainfall. You can see we've got a cluster of storms near Bartlesville that's going to be moving into the southern counties. We've got more rain chances for south and central counties in our area, and those are going to be moving in closer to midnight. So until then, we're going to talk about the cooler temperatures tomorrow. Because of the rain that we're getting, it's going to be rainy all day on Sunday. It's going to be pretty cloudy as well, which keeps us cooler during the daytime. So we're going to get up to about 75 in Cassville, 79 in Joplin, so not even 80 degrees. Only areas hitting 80, Parsons 81, Neodesha 81, 83 in Independence, and 80 in Sedan. Everyone else is going to be in the mid to upper 70s for our high tomorrow. Now, temperatures tonight dropping down to mid to lower 60s, so it's going to be a cool night again. We've been in the mid to lower 60s all week this week, and it's going to continue like that through midweek next week as well. We've also got rainy evening ahead, non-severe thunderstorms. So we are getting thunderstorms. You might hear some thunder, it might wake you up because it's going to be in the overnight hours, but it's not going to be severe. All right, so we've got those clusters of storms moving in, and just right behind it, we'll have looks like one strong thunderstorm. After that, this is about 3 a.m., widespread showers, a thunderstorm or two, pretty isolated thunderstorms. So we've got one Looks like moving southeastern Kansas, maybe into Joplin. Other than that, comes a little bit more widespread, a little bit stronger as it moves across the border into Missouri, into Arkansas. So we're going to have some stronger storms moving in a little bit later in the morning. So this is about 6:30 on Sunday. We've got Joplin getting a lot of rain, Bella Vista, Monette, Cassville, all getting a lot of rain. It's going to move on out of here off to the east. We'll still have a few isolated showers throughout the afternoon hours on Sunday. Pretty cloudy, especially in the southern counties as well following the rain. Outside of that, temperatures warming back up to mid to upper 80s on Monday. And we don't see a lot more rainfall on Monday. It dries out, so we're really focused on the rain that we're getting today, tomorrow, maybe early into Monday as well. Some areas, 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, maybe an inch in some isolated areas that are receiving a lot of rainfall. But outside of that, we're really not seeing a ton of accumulation with any of these rain showers or thunderstorms. And temperatures do warm back up to the 90s by the end of the week.
We'll enjoy the nice weather while we got it, though.
Oh, yeah, I definitely will be.
Yeah, despite the rain, temperatures are great.
I think including the rain, I don't mind the rain, especially when you're not looking at tornadoes or, you know, super severe hail wind threats. So,
for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Lindsay. Downtown Neosho today hosted a summer block party. Almost every bar and beverage restaurant had music. People could also do chalk art on sidewalks of the city. Boutiques downtown would also be open late for everyone to enjoy.
Oh, we're so lucky. We are so lucky to be a part of the community that comes together like this. For the events like this and Celebrate Neosho, we come together to paint our windows, so we all have like something fun going on. And we're a good lucky group to get to come together.
East Side Social hosted karaoke for the block party. Coming up in sports, a local college baseball coach receives regional honors. Plus, the Joplin Outlaws continue their long homestand. Brock Baldridge has highlights from tonight's game and more.
Joplin has won 4 of their last 5 games as they look to close out this weekend's series. It's Veterans Appreciation Night at Joe Becker Stadium. Outlaws take on the Texarkana Rhinos. No score in the second inning. Rhinos strike first as Mason Sellers singles fair down the left field line. Texarkana gets on the board first. Rhinos take the early 1-0 lead. So very next batter to the plate. Ground ball hit sharply to second base. Cale Good makes an athletic play right here. Steps on second, fires to first for the double play. Outlaws get out of the inning, only trailing by a run. So we go to the third inning now. Rylan Evans hits this ball right back up the middle and gets by Ravon Morgan right here. That scores another run. Rhinos lead 2-0 after the RBI single and error. So we go to the bottom of the third now. Texarkana leads 4-0. CJ Sapicki hits an RBI single to left field, and that gives Joplin their first run of the night to make it a 4-1 ball game. But Joplin rallies for 4 runs in the 7th inning. Outlaws complete the comeback as they beat Texarkana 6-5. Well, the accomplishments of Crowder head baseball coach Travis Lalman is impressive, and that still might be an understatement. Coach Lalman joins a prestigious list of regional coaches of the year. Travis Lalman is named the 2024 Missouri NJCAA Regional Coach of the Year by the American Baseball Coaches Association. Coach Lalman last won the award in 2022. This comes after he led the Crowder Rough Riders to their 5th Junior College World Series this past season. The weather in Atlanta sets back the St. Louis Cardinals as they await to return to action following the MLB All-Star break, and the Redbirds begin the second half of the season with a split doubleheader. So here we go from Truist Park in a very humid afternoon in Atlanta. We pick things up in the 7th inning. St. Louis leads 1-0. Nolan Arenado gets just enough of it. That ball leaves the ballpark for a solo home run. Cards lead 2-0. So we go to the bottom of the 7th. Eddie Rosario delivers a platter to the chop house right here. That's gone for a 2-run homer. This game is tied up 2-2. So we go to extra innings. Ozzie Albies is at the plate, and all he has to do is hit it far enough for the runner to tag up from third base to score. And the sacrifice fly scores the game-winning run right here. Atlanta walks it off. Braves beat the Cardinals 3-2 in Game 1. So in Game 2 of the doubleheader, St. Louis gets the split as the Redbirds win 9-5. Brendan Donovan homers in this game. Sonny Gray did give up 5 earned. However, he pitches 7 complete innings and strikes out 10. In the American League, the Kansas City Royals get off to a 2-0 start since the All-Star break. Royals win soundly 6-1. Brady Singer has stellar performance, 7 innings, no earned runs, and 7 strikeouts. Also, Hunter Renfroe goes 1 for 3 with a pair of RBIs. Well, last night was the final game for the Clearwater Threshers bat dog Lila. And she has served as the bat dog for the Threshers for the past 6 seasons and is officially retiring. Lila retrieved her final bat of her career in last night's game. She was then presented a special treat for all of her years of hard work and service. Now, it's one thing to retire at 13 years old, but to only have a 6-year career and then retire, that's pretty impressive. But in dog years, that equals a 42 years.
Yeah, I'm sure she's had a very wonderful career.
I hope she spends retirement well.
Yeah, absolutely. No more bats for Layla.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll be right back. Today is National Fortune Cookie Day. For fortune, your fortune could be anything from a piece of friendly advice or the winning lottery numbers or a prediction about your life. And everyone has their own superstitions about them. Some say if you don't eat the whole cookie, your fortune won't come true. Some fun facts. Fortune cookies do not originate from China, even though they're associated with Chinese food. They are actually invented in Japan. Well, we've had some good fortune with this weather.
Okay, we're going straight to the weather. You know what I was going to say?
Okay,
I should write my own fortune cookies.
Is that so?
I think I should make it a business. Anyways, back to the weather.
Yeah.
We've got storms rolling in tonight. Not going to be severe, but some strong storms. Those are going to continue well into the day on Sunday. After that, mid-80-degree weather. Then we're up to the 90s by next week.
And final sports note.
Yeah, tomorrow's the first day of Chiefs training camp, so if anyone from the 4 states heading up to St. Joe, make sure you bring lots of water and sunscreen.
Absolutely. That's our time for tonight from all of us here at KOAM. Have a great night.